Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something I think you'll find really useful: habit formation, pulling from James Clear's Atomic Habits.
Yeah, it's a great source. And our mission really is to break down how these, well, tiny shifts can actually lead to some pretty remarkable results in your life.
Absolutely. And that word atomic, it's interesting, isn't it?
It really is. It kind of hits two things at once. First, something super small, like a basic unit.
Right, like the smallest piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also something with just immense power packed inside, like atomic energy.
Ah, okay. So small and powerful. And the core idea we're looking at is how these little daily choices, things you might not even notice, they add up.
Like compound, yeah. That's the first big concept.
Huh.
The surprising power of compounding.
Like compound interest, but for habits.
Pretty much. Clear actually does the math. Get just 1% better each day and over a year.
No, you're not just 365% better.
No, it's way more, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, it's like almost 38 times better. It's exponential. But the flip side is true too. Get 1% worse each day,
Yeah.
and you basically wipe yourself out.
Wow. Okay, so consistency is key. Is there a big example of this, like in the real world?
Oh, definitely. Think about British cycling. Dave Brailsford, right?
Yeah, the aggregation of marginal gain.
That's the one. They weren't great for a long time. Then they just focused on improving everything by maybe 1%.
Everything. Like what?
Like everything. Bike seats, yes, but also finding the best pillow for sleep, teaching riders how to wash hands properly to avoid getting sick. Tiny stuff.
And that led to.
Olympic golds, Tour de France wins, huge success. And the point for you listening is that this isn't just for pro athletes.
Right. It applies to what? Your money, learning things, relationships.
Exactly. Even managing stress. Small, consistent improvements add up everywhere.
Okay, but sometimes you put in the effort and nothing seems to happen.
Yeah. That's the plateau of latent potential.
Mm.
That's frustrating.
It really is. You feel like you're working hard, but the scale doesn't move or the skill doesn't improve.
Right. Clear uses the analogy of an ice cube. It's sitting there at, say, 25 degrees. You heat it, 26, 27, still ice. Looks like no progress.
Mm-hmm.
But then you hit 32 degrees, just one more degree, and bam, it starts melting. The big change happens after all that stored energy breaks through.
So your efforts aren't wasted, they're just building up. You need patience.
Precisely. Patience is crucial. Your work is being stored, waiting for that breakthrough moment.
Okay, that makes sense. So understand compounding, be patient through the plateau. What's next? Something about goals.
Yeah, this one's kind of counterintuitive. Forget goals, focus on systems.
Get goals, but isn't that what drives us?
Well, yes and no. Goals are the results you want, like winning a race. Systems are the processes you follow, like your training schedule.
Okay.
The problem is winners and losers often have the same goals. Everyone wants to win. What separates them is the system.
Ah, I see. So if you achieve a goal like cleaning your room, but your system is still messy habits.
The room won't stay clean for long.
Yeah.
Exactly. And goals can actually limit your happiness. Like, I'll be happy when I achieve X.
Right. Delaying satisfaction.
Yeah, there's a great quote. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Fall to the level of your systems. That's powerful. So improve the process and the results will follow.
That's the core idea. Refine your system continuously.
And underpinning all of this, there's something deeper, right? About identity.
Yes. This is maybe the most profound shift, identity-based habits. Most people focus change on outcomes, I want to lose weight, or processes, I will go to the gym.
But the real leverage is
Identity.
Yeah.
Changing who you believe you are. So instead of I want to run a marathon, it's thinking I am a runner.
that feels different, more permanent somehow.
It is. Think about someone quitting smoking,
Yeah.
saying no thanks, I'm trying to quit, versus no thanks, I'm not a smoker. Which one feels stronger?
The second one, definitely. I'm not a smoker. It's a statement of fact about who they are.
Exactly. Or Brian Clark stopping nail biting. He didn't just try to stop. He got a manicure, started valuing his nails, and became someone who cared for their nails.
So every action is like a vote.
a vote for the type of person you want to become. Your identity emerges from your repeated actions, your repeated beingness.
Okay, wow. Identity is key. So if we know who we want to be, how do we actually start doing the things that reinforce that identity? This brings us to the laws of behavior change, right? The first one.
Make it obvious. And that starts with awareness. Because honestly, most habits are just automatic. We don't even think about them.
Right, they run on autopilot. So how do you become aware?
Well, one technique is pointing and calling,
Mhm.
like Japanese train conductors use. They literally point and say out loud what they're doing. Signal is green. It forces awareness.
Huh, interesting. And for personal use?
The habit scorecard. Just list your daily habits and mark them. Positive plus negative or neutral.
Yeah.
Just it makes you see what you're actually doing each day.
Makes the invisible visible. And once you're aware, the environment matters hugely.
Immensely. Your environment is like this invisible hand guiding your choices. We tend to do what's easiest, what's right in front of us, what's obvious.
Like the cafeteria study.
Yeah, Mass General Hospital,
Yeah.
they just put more water bottles out where people could see them easily near the cash registers. Soda sales went down, water sales went up. No big campaign, just making water obvious.
Or putting fruit on the counter instead of hidden in the fridge drawer.
Exactly. You eat the apples because they're there. So the advice is simple. Make the cues for your good habits obvious. Put your running shoes by the door.
And make cues for bad habits invisible.
Hide them away. Put the cookies on the top shelves, out of sight. Redesign your space to support who you want to be.
Okay, that makes practical sense. So what are some specific tools to make these cues obvious?
Two main ones. First, implementation intentions. This is just being really specific about when and where you'll do a habit.
Like a formula.
Yeah. I will behave here at time in location. So not just I'll meditate more, but I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen.
And that specificity helps.
Hugely. A study on exercise found people who wrote down this kind of plan had something like a 91% follow-through rate. It makes the intention concrete.
Wow, okay. And the second tool?
Habit stacking. This is brilliant. You link a new habit, you want to build onto one you already do automatically.
This is piggybacking.
Exactly. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. Like after I burn my morning coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds.
Ah, so you use the existing habit, pouring coffee, as the trigger, the obvious cue for the new one.
Precisely. You're designing the cue right into your existing routine. It makes starting the new habit almost effortless over time.
Okay, that's really practical. So let's just recap quickly. We covered these atomic habits, small but powerful through compounding.
Right. And the need for patience through that plateau of latent potential. Don't give up before the breakthrough.
Then the shift from goals to systems focus on the process.
And fundamentally anchoring it all in identity, becoming the type of person who does those things.
And starting that journey by making it obvious, using awareness, environment design, implementation intentions, and habit stacking.
You got it. It's a powerful framework.
So the final thought for you, listening. Your habits aren't just tasks you complete. They're literally shaping who you are.
Yeah. Think about it. How are the small votes you're casting today with your daily actions editing the identity of the person you'll be in 5 or 10 years? What kind of person are you becoming? One tiny habit at a time.